sources will be down below. Let me know what other fact videos we should do. You guys have been slacking off a little bit with suggestions. I would just like to point that out. You've been slacking. So, let's just get started. Okay, so I have my computer over here in this direction, so I will be looking in this direction. Okay, fact number 1. Black History Month began at, oh, I don't think I can say that. I don't think I'm gonna say it, but it starts with an N and ends with an O. History Week. I don't know. I don't think I should say that. No, okay. That History Week, which was created by Carter G. Woodson in 1926. Carter was a noted African-American historian, scholar, educator, and publisher. Number 2. It became a month-long celebration in 1976, and February was chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. Number 3. Jack Johnson became the first African-American man to hold the World Heavyweight Champion boxing title in 1908. He held onto the belt until 1915. Also, I forgot to mention, most of these are American-based. I also am going to leave a bunch of links down in the description box for this Black History and Canadian Black History, because there is Canadian Black History. It's just not as prevalently known as Aboriginal history, except for we could do it on. Anyways, mostly American, just FYI. Although there's obviously Black history in every single country, so that being said, let's continue. Number 4. John Mercer Langston was the first black man to become a lawyer when he passed the bar in Ohio in 1854. When he was elected to the post of town clerk for Brownhelm, Ohio, in 1855, Langston became one of the first African Americans ever elected to public office in America. Langston was also the great uncle of Langston Hughes, famed poet of the Harlem Renaissance. Number 5. Well, Rosa Parks is credited with helping to spark the civil rights movement when she refused to give up her public bus seat to a white man in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, inspiring the Montgomery bus boycott. The lesser-known Claudette Colvin was arrested 9 months prior for not giving up her bus seat to white passengers. I do know who Rosa Parks is. I did learn that in high school, just an FYI. I'm well aware. I just felt like I needed to tell you guys I did know who she was before I did this. Number 6. Thurgood Marshall was the first African American ever appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. He was appointed by President Lyndon B. Johnson and served on the court from 1967 to 1991. Number 7. Hiram Rhodes Revels was the first African American ever elected to the U.S. Senate. He represented the state of Mississippi from February 1870 to March 1871. That's pretty cool. Number 8. Shirley Chisholm. Oh my gosh, I actually saw a commercial about this on TV yesterday, about Shirley Chisholm. Because otherwise I would have called her Chisholm, but the commercial said Chisholm. Anyways, was the first African American woman elected to the House of Representatives. She was elected in 1968 and represented the state of New York. She broke ground again 4 years later in 1972 when she was the first major party African American candidate and the first female candidate for president of the United States. Yeah, so the commercial I saw, it was on TV. What channel was I watching? I was watching, I don't know, it was like a commercial. It was like a History Minute thing for Black History Month. But it was on TV. Anyways, it's pretty cool that she ran for president in 1970. That woman, dope. Okay, number 9. Madam C.J. Walker was born on a cotton plantation in Louisiana and became wealthy after inventing a line of African-American hair care products. She established Madam C.J. Walker Laboratories and was also known for her philanthropy. Number 10. In 1940, Hattie McDaniel was the first African-American performer to win an American award. I'm gonna when he sold the cable station he founded, Black Entertainment Television, or BET, in 2001. That's dope. Number 13, in 2011, Barack Obama became the first black president of the United States. And I always think it's kind of funny because Obama's campaign was the first American election that I remember. Yeah, because in 2008, so he started running in 2006, so I would have been like 10 years old when he started his campaign. Yeah, he's just like the first president that I remember. Like, I remember that George Bush was the president before him, but I don't remember him running. But I remember Obama's campaign and like his like hope thing. That's like my first memory of politics, and so I always attribute my interest in politics with Obama. So I just thought that was fun. Number 14, in 2021, Kamala Harris. I'm gonna cry. Why am I always so? I don't know why fags make me emotional. I'm always just like, that's so cool. Sorry, in 2021, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Everyone says it differently, but I'm pretty sure it's Kamala. Kamala Harris became the first woman of African or Asian descent to become vice president. Vice president. I'm so sorry. Kamala Harris just makes me so emotional. I'm not even kidding. To become vice president, Harris's mother immigrated to the United States from India, and her father immigrated from Jamaica. Number 15, Phyllis Wheatley was the first African American to publish a book of poetry, poems on various subjects, religious and moral, in 1773. Born in Gambia and sold to the Wheatley family in Boston when she was 7 years old, Wheatley was emancipated shortly after her book was released. 16. Bar Fights. Written by poet and activist Lucy Terry in 1746, was the first known poem written by a black American. Terry was enslaved in Rhode Island as a toddler, but became free at age 26 after marrying a free black man. It makes me want to throw out the whole thing. Not the poem part, just the enslavement part. Number 17. Okay, there was a novel, it was called Clotel, or The President's Daughter, was the first novel published by an African American in 1853. It was written by abolitionist and lecturer William Wells Brown. I struggled for a second because the first word I was like, did I mess up? Like, is that really a word? But I think it is a word. Continuing, number 18. William Tucker was the first known black person to be born in the 13 colonies. He was born in Jamestown, Virginia in 1624. Number 19. Anthony Benezet, a white Quaker, abolitionist, you guys know what I'm saying, abolisher, like abolish, and educator, is credited with creating the first public school for African American children in the early 1770s. 20. After graduating from Oberlin College in 1850 with a literary degree, Lucy Stanton became the first black woman in America to earn a 4-year college degree. 1850, that's like impressive for the time. I'm not saying that's a good thing, I'm just saying I thought it would have been later on, maybe like 1950, if we're being honest. Okay, 21. Dubbed hip-hop's first grandmother by Billboard, singer and music producer Sylvia Robinson produced the first ever commercially successful rap record, Rapper's Delight, by the Sugar Hill Gang, and along with her husband, she co-owned the first hip-hop label, Sugar Hill Records. That's dope. 22. Renowned singer and jazz pianist Nat King Cole was the first black American to host a TV show, NBC's The Nat King Cole Show. Okay, dope. 23. Stevie Wonder first and only musician to win Album of the Year with 3 consecutive studio albums. Okay. 24. In 1981, broadcast journalist Brian Gumbel became the first black person to host a network morning show when he joined NBC's Today Show. 25. In 1940, Hattie McDaniel became the first black person to win an Oscar for her supporting role in Gone with the Wind. 24 years later, Sidney Poitier, I don't know, became the first black man to win an Oscar for his leading role in Lilies of the Field. 26. Hairdresser Christina M. Jenkins is credited with inventing the weave, also known as a sew-in. The Louisiana native who eventually relocated to Ohio earned a patent for her creation in 1952. 27. Computer scientist Lisa Galopter. Sorry, I'm really bad with pronouncing last names specifically, because they're weird. Just all last names, not specifically these ones, just last names in general, okay? Lisa Galopter, I don't know, assisted with the 1955 creation of Shockwave, essential technology that led to the development of web animation, so we can basically thank her for GIFs. I'm sorry if you call it a GIF, but it's a GIF. 28. Agricultural scientist George Carver was responsible for creating over 500 new products made from peanuts and sweet potatoes, including cooking oils, paint, and soap. 29. In 1908, after winning the 4x400 meter relay, John Taylor became the first African American to win gold in the Olympics, and in 1948, Alice Coachman became the first black woman in the world to win an Olympic gold medal while competing in high jump. 30. Founded in 1984, the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo is the only touring African American rodeo in the world. I think what just reminded me of that, if you guys know who Kane Brown is, he's like a country singer. People are so funny because they're like, how did you get into country music? Because he's black, and he's like, my grandma was in the rodeo. Sorry, it just reminded me that, like, we all have these connotations of, like, people, but why can't black people have a rodeo, you know? Horses are fun. That's all I'm saying. Okay, 31. In 1920, Fritz Pollard and Bobby Marshall became the first black athletes to play in the NFL. Pollard was also the league's first black coach. 32. In 2012, at the London Olympics, Gabby Douglas became the first black gymnast to win the individual all-around title. I did know this beforehand. 33. In 1996, Cheryl Swoops became the first player to sign with the WNBA, with the league debuting a year later. That's cool. That's really cool. 34. The oldest black female Greek letter organization, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, or AKA, that's kind of funny, was founded at Howard University in 1905. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, or Alpha, was the first black male Greek letter organization and was founded in 1906 at Cornell University. I always think that, like, Alpha and Kappa sororities and fraternities are so funny, because when I went to university, we didn't have those. I don't think anywhere in Canada does, unless it's like at McGill, but I kind of doubt they have it at McGill. I just said McGill because it's a fancy place. No shame to McGill. If you got into McGill, I'm jealous. You're amazing. I just think it's funny because, like, what's really the point? Anyway, continuing on. I won't talk smack about Greek societies. Okay. 35. In July 1777, Vermont became the first colony to ban slavery. 36. In 1738, a group of newly freed men and women founded the town Garcia Rio de Santa Teresa de Mose, I probably said that wrong, in Florida, just 2 miles away from St. Augustine. It's considered to be the first ever free black settlement in the United States, but was abandoned following the 7 Years' War in 1763. 37. The first successful open-heart surgery was performed in 1893 by a black surgeon named Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. 38. Betty Boop was inspired by the black jazz singer Esther Jones, commonly known as Baby Esther in Harlem's Cotton Club. Her signature singing style was stolen by Helen Kane and adapted by the cartoonist Max Fleischer. I'm not surprised by this. Not one bit, no. Her hair, come on. 39. Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan were the black women behind the NASA space race. If I remember correctly, I never actually watched the movie, but I watched the trailer a bunch of times because it was always on TV at the time. And what's his name? I kind of think of his name. The guy that plays that guy from The Big Bang Theory, what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? The guy that plays Sheldon, he was in the movie about NASA. Anyways, didn't they do all the math? Aren't they like the people behind the math of it all? Whatever. I didn't watch the movie. 40. A black transgender woman named Marsha P. Johnson helped lead the Stonewall Uprising. And if you don't know what the Stonewall Uprising is, it's basically like the origins of pride and gay rights in the United States. 41. Bayard Rustin was a social rights activist who helped install various organizations like the Southern Christian Leadership Conference with Martin Luther King Jr. and the 1947 Freedom Ride. He was the head of the 1963 March on Washington and helped fight for civil, social, and gay rights. 42. Henry Box Brown escaped to freedom at the age of 33 by shipping himself from Virginia to Philadelphia. I'm sorry, it's not funny because, like, that's so rough. But the planning that had to go into shipping yourself from Virginia to Philadelphia. 43. The youth of Birmingham, Alabama led a non-violent children's crusade in 1963 for black rights. 44. The first black man to win a Nobel Peace Prize was Ralph Bunche, a political scientist and U.S. diplomat. He received the prize in 1950 for his efforts with resolving the Arab-Israeli conflict. Martin Luther King Jr. was the second man to win the Nobel Peace Prize. The second black man, not the second man. Although that would be funny, in my opinion. Number 45. On February 12, 2021, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, will celebrate its 112th birthday. The date of February 12th, 1909 was chosen for the NAACP's inception because it also marked the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln and coincided with abolitionist Frederick Douglass's birthday, February 14th. It's America's oldest civil rights organization, as well as its largest. I can't believe I can't say abolitionist. 46. Black men had a strong presence in the Wild West. You'd be hard pressed to find much diversity in